Okay. So
I
before
had
that,
like
we already have
one.
a question here by Yash Jyoti. Sir, is it possible to have initial block inside another initial block? No, it is not possible. Nesting of initial as well as always block is not possible. There could be multiple initial blocks, there could be multiple always block, but one always block cannot be there in initial block or another always block. Similarly, initial block cannot be inside another initial block or any other always block. Another question is, in the test bench of FSM, is it a good use of random type in for loop or using at the rate posage like that? What is the difference? So the use of random the use of random was to tell you that we can give some random inputs also. Okay, and when we are using at the rate posage, which is giving us a directed inputs at the correct time. Otherwise, the alternative option, because we know the clock period, we could have written that hash 20 signal is this, hash 40 another hash 20 we say signal is this. That was also a good possibility, but to make it generic, it was written that at the rate of post edge clock. So that means whenever a clock positive edge would occur, then we will assign the next value. Yes. Any other question?
I think Aniruddha has some question he has raised. Yes, Aniruddha, you can ask your question.
You can speak.
Uh, yes, I have two questions. One is, in today's Verilog design, we utilized the state machine, right? But it is not clear to me like how this state machine will be actually implemented into hardware. Because in our previous Verilog designs, all of them were using like either XOR gates or NOR gates or some such hardware equivalent statements. But today we have used a state machine, which I do not realize how it will be into getting into hardware, and also how the states will be stored as such.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Very, very good question. Even I don't know. The reason I don't know, or reason the designer doesn't know, because it is it is written that way. So whenever you are writing in behavior, you don't know how it will get implemented. But uh, yeah, the other thing is also true that when state machines are there, there is a standard procedure how that state machines will get translated into hardware. It is very similar to the way we have studied in our book. So there would be states that would be assigned. We have done state assignment here also. We have assigned S0, S00, S1, S01, etc. And then there would be a Boolean translations of these functions, transition function, that when this transition function would occur. The only difference in the
Okay.
behavior model is we have written it like this, and then implementation we have left to our synthesis tool. Okay, that synthesis
Okay.
tool will take
And
care that how those gates would be created. Yeah.
okay. And one more question is there any difference between actual hardware register and the register data type that we're using inside the design file?
Yep. There is a lot of difference. So in one way, a reg type in our Verilog is just a placeholder, or we can say that it's a data structure. Uh, it's a data structure which is created by Verilog, which can store multiple values when it is used. So it can store a future value as well as the current value. So that's a precise purpose of a register here, and it's a some sort of implementation of an actual register. But yeah, so the relation between if you're defining a reg here, if you're defining a reg in Verilog, and actual register is that most of the time when you will do a synthesis, these reg data types are the potential candidate to be converted into flip or registers.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
in a real hardware also, this register is a kind of a very widely used term, and also similarly have different meanings. So somewhere we say that register is an array of flip-flops, and sometimes it is also like arrays of arrays. So basically there will be two-dimensional array of flip-flops. So and we have also studied in our book that it could be serial in, parallel out, parallel in, parallel out. So all those combinations are there. So typical register meaning is this, that whenever a clock is there, it will be able to copy the data. And whenever load signal is there, there are the two requirements. One, a load signal has to be there, and a clock has to be positive edge. Then it will register the data, and that's how it is different from D flip-flop. D flip-flop, even though there is no load signal, then at positive edge, whatever is the input, it would get registered. But in case of register, there has to be additional load signal, which will also this presence of load signal is also required.
Okay. So something of like a set or a set signal for the register, right?
You can say like that, yes.
Okay. That's it about my questions.
Thank you. So we have another question from Vaishnavi. Sir, in state diagram, how are output decided, and no, and do differ according to pattern? Okay. I could not understand the question. So if you can write more elaboration of your question. So are you talking about the state diagram, like the state diagram which we created? So the output was decided by the pattern 1011. So whenever this pattern is matching, whenever 101 and then 1, last one will appear, then we'll say output is 1. So that's how we will decide output is 1. Otherwise, output would be 0. So whenever this pattern is there, then the output would be 0. So if you mean something else, then please rewrite. I will try to explain. Yash Jyoti ji is asking, is it required to still declare variable as reg if that variable is used in as blocking assignment in always block? In always block, whatever you write, any variable which you are using as L value or you are writing, then you have to declare them as a register, reg. Or it could be of integer type or real type, so whatever types are supported. So another question, is the process of state encoding for optimization a trial and error process, or there is a procedure to do it? There is no trial and error, so there is no error essentially. Whatever state encoding you assign, so let's say there are only 4 states and you are assigning 00 to S4 or S3, it won't make anything wrong. The only thing is that certain time you would like to optimize for areas or power or latency. Okay, so then you can do an analysis. So this analysis is only if you have those goals which you have to meet. Otherwise, functional requirement can be met easily whatever encoding you give. Okay, so to further have the optimization goals, to meet your optimization goals, sometimes we do this jugglery of state encoding and we try to see that which state encoding would be better. And the next question is, your next part of your question is it a trial and error? There is no error, but yes, sometimes it is a trial process. And there is also a procedure involved. So there is a systematic procedure which would say that, okay, if there is a transition from one state to another state, or the state which has been occurred more frequently, so you would like to assign less number of bits to that particular state. And if a transition between two states are happening regularly, then you will assign a lesser Hamming distance between their encoding. So there are some standard rules which are there, which help us in encoding them. The next question is, A reg data type is basically when we want to assign a value or reuse a value further in the statement. Is my understanding correct? First is correct. Whenever we are assigning a value, to a variable, then we have to define it as reg. And a reuse means reading a value. We don't require, but whenever we are writing, then a reg is essential. So with this, we are done with the questions. If there is any other question, please let me know.
I think, sir, one candidate, Harsha, has a question. He has raised, I think,
And
hand.
please,
Okay.
please speak up.
Yes, Harsha, please go ahead.
Is it mandatory to use the begin and end while using multiple assignments in the if-else block?
You have to repeat, Harsh. Yes.
So is it mandatory to use begin and end while when there are multiple assignments? Like in the Verilog example, in the if-else block, you have used begin and end for each to assign each state.
Okay. So it's like
So
a
is it
blocking of
mandatory?
statements.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Just a minute. So do you write in C, C++?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When do you use curly braces?
Sorry, I couldn't get you.
When do you use curly braces in C or C++?
Curly braces.
So let's say there's a for loop statement. In for loop statement, sometimes we use curly braces, sometimes you don't. When do you use curly braces?
Okay. So when there are multiple statements.
Because otherwise, how will your compiler know that the second statement is also part of this for loop?
Okay.
So rather than having Verilog has borrowed so many syntax from C, C++, but this begin and else they have not borrowed. They have their own statement of this Verilog that
I
curly
understand.
brace start is begin and curly brace end is the end.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So there's another question: how do we do a two-dimensional pattern recognition? So for an application like image recognition, what is the input? If see in one-dimensional pattern recognition, here my input was serial. Okay, so because it was a serial input, what I was doing, I was checking the past inputs. But in case of two-dimensional pattern recognition, what is my input? If whole image is available to me as an input, then there is no state machine required. I can go and check my pattern in parallel at all the locations of my image. Okay, so it would be you have to do it repeatedly for all the pixels. Again, the question would be whether it is overlapping or non-overlapping. So or it is blocked or non-blocked. So these four variations would be there. If it is blocked and non-overlapping, then things are easier. So you can say that there is a 9x9 block or 3x3 block. So you can go for 3x3 block in a non-overlapping fashion and check for all the possibilities. Yep. Okay, so there is no more question. Then what we'll do is we'll close for the day, and tomorrow. Previously, I have written in the schedule that we'll do a lift model. So, but looking at the state machines and all those, it appears to me that it will be too simplistic. So, what I will do tomorrow is I'll try to design a GCD computer or computing machine which would be able to compute a GCD of two numbers. So that's a problem statement. If somebody would like to work and then see that how to design a hardware to compute a GCD, then you are most welcome to do that. And else we'll see anyway tomorrow, 10 o'clock.